What's going on, everybody? It's your boy Rome.
And we're back to another episode of The Hated Truth. What's going on, guys? It's your boy Vayo J3.
What up, guys? It's B, aka at Chulo Swag, Shock Market.
Hi guys, it's Bay, and like Bayo always reminds you guys, we're back with another episode, and today we're talking about stocks. And we have a guest here. We're gonna let him introduce himself, and he's gonna educate us a little bit. First and foremost, please tell the people about yourself.
Again, my name is Rome. I am just your average 9-to-5 guy who loves to trade stocks and make money.
That's what I'm talking about.
Shock market.
Money. So you said that's a way that you like to make money. Can you tell us how that started? Like, what sparked your interest in investing?
Yeah, so I've been trading for about a year and some change now. I've been trading since before COVID.
Okay.
2019-ish. I got in like around the time when Disney Plus, like the announcement of Disney Plus happened, and then Disney surged a few.
Of course.
A few percent. So I got in there, I made a little bit of money, and then I started to trickle down just because, there was a lot at the time. I wasn't necessarily like fully educated, but I knew my way around the market enough. So I stopped, I let my investments sit. And then as COVID went by, as COVID started, everyone is at home. Everyone is learning new hobbies or, trying to find new ways to make money, especially now through these hard times. People lost their jobs.
Multiple sources of income.
Exactly. So everyone needed to create that path for them. So I'm like, listen, I already know about this stuff. At least the surface information. Yep. Let me just get back on it. And that's when I started all over again. And, since then, I've been learning here and there. I've been helping people invest and trade. I've actually had like a few beginner presentations to,
nice.
Basically start people off and just literally teaching them the most basic information as possible. So that way I just painted a picture for them so that way they can see the market as clear as possible.
Right.
Well, and that's what we're here for,
Exactly.
This episode is basically to get you guys to start, looking into how to
invest. So what would you say, or what would you recommend to be like the foundation or the starting stones for someone that's trying to invest?
Yeah, so before I get into anything, I just have to let everyone know I am not a financial advisor.
Mm-hmm. Oh.
So everything that's...
At your own risk.
Right. Everything that I say is done
advisor.
independently. Research is done independently. My opinions are mine and no one else's.
Right.
I think the biggest thing when it comes to, deciding on whether or not you want to get into the stock market is a few things, right? Why?
Yep.
You got to have a why. And then you have to...
I'm trying to make money.
Right. You have to also differentiate yourself of, do you want to make long-term or do you want to make short-term? Like, there are different types of people who are in the stock market. And I think that's a big thing as to why, like, a lot of people don't necessarily know how to, differentiate out of the two, right?
Yep.
So let me ask you guys this. Are you a long-term guy or a short-term guy?
I'm long-term.
Long-term? Okay, what about you?
So I have certain stocks that I'm doing long term, and then other ones that I do short term, depending on how much money I'm putting in.
Okay.
I do not invest.
Okay.
Yeah, this is actually perfect for me, which is why I'm taking notes. Make sure you guys take
Beautiful.
notes. But I would say that my end goal would be long term.
Okay, long term. So you guys are more so and
the cash cows, the safe ones.
yeah, you're the safe guys. You are the investors, where you are an investor, but you're also a trader. If you're a short-term guy, I'm a little bit of both. I'm a risky guy. So don't listen to me all the time when it comes to like, putting your money into certain stocks, because I play big risks. Sometimes they either have really good rewards, or sometimes you can lose a lot of money. So I am what you would call a day trader, where I would hold a position for a certain amount of time. Whether it be a week, whether it be 2 weeks, maybe even a month, and then that's when I'll sell to make my gains.
Okay.
Yeah. So what I would say is more than anything is differentiate yourself, like, between the two.
Got it.
Right? And money is very important, right? The stock market does not know who you are, and the stock market has no heart.
Right.
Be able to, if you do want to get into the stock market, put money to the side that you are not
Counting on.
Correct. Like
That you're willing to lose.
Correct. Like you're willing to lose, right? Like you go to the casino, you're like, okay, I have $500. I'm gonna use it whether I make money or I lose money. But I know that I'm bringing in that $500 with me, knowing that I'm either gonna win or lose.
Yep.
But I have to make that calculated decision. What exactly am I gonna do to put myself in a position to win? And what am I gonna do to, avoid myself from losing?
Yep. So now, how would you differentiate that? How would you figure out a stock is, I guess, good enough to put you in a position to win, like you said, or in a position to lose?
So the best thing is, right, so it's going to sound very cliche, and you'll probably hear me say this about the whole time that I'm speaking with you guys, is due diligence. You have to do your research. You have to. It's like, let's say you want to join a gym, or you want to get a credit card. You know what I'm saying?
Yep.
Like, those kind of things.
Like the benefits to any of those things.
Right.
But how would you do it for, like, let's say a company then?
Yeah, so...
Because it's hard to figure out if a company is going to be good. I mean, I see, I guess, Walmart, and I'm like, yo, everybody goes shopping at Walmart. You get me?
Mhm.
But that doesn't mean that investing in Walmart would be a good thing. You get me?
Yeah, so there's honestly like a lot that goes into due diligence, right? Like you can't just read an article and say, yo, this is it. I'm going to jump in and I'm going to make $1 million. No, it's not. You have to be able to...
Chulo's ready to make $1 million.
I did that.
I mean, we all are, right? We all want to do that, but, right, you have to know, like, it's very extensive in terms of who's running what, right? Like, is the CFO helping the business become profitable, right?
Yep.
What have they done within the last 4 quarters, and how have they been performing within the last 5 years?
Yep.
Right? Because you want to make sure that the trajectory of the business is going well and it's going to be
Right.
growing,
Right.
right? And you want to read up on who these people are, who's running, like literally, who is the CEO, who's the CFO, who's the COO, who's the CCO, things like that.
Yep.
Because these names make a difference.
He said
Exactly.
all the things.
All these names make a difference, right?
Yep.
You know, you don't want to invest into something, or you don't want to bring yourself into something that you don't believe in,
Right.
right?
Okay.
Right.
And a lot of the problems with new investors is, you know, let's say for example you have literally no idea of the stock market,
Mhm.
and I'm like, yo, Bayo, buy this,
Okay.
but the only reason,
It's because you told me.
yeah, right? I tell you buy this, right? And you, because you trust me.
Of
Right?
course.
And then you don't even know when to get in or when to get out,
Of course.
right? So I tell you, yo, buy this right now, yo, it's gonna go up. And you buy it at its highest point, right?
That sounds like a bad idea.
Exactly.
I don't know much, but it sounds like a bad idea.
Right? And then what happens is, right, so then the stock starts to drop for a time being, and then you sell,
Yep.
right? So
Now, I got losses.
So let's say you buy a stock at $10.
Yep.
Right? That's the highest point of the stock at the moment. And then that goes down to $1. And you're like, yo, I'm selling at $1. I lost all my money.
Mm-hmm.
I lost $9.
Yeah.
Right? It's not smart to do that. You have to make sure that you're looking at the trend of that specific stock and see how they're going. That's another way that you have to look into, when it comes down to when you should buy that specific stock or why you should buy that specific stock.
Right.
And that's when they say buy the dip.
Correct.
Buy the dip.
It's true.
That's what I did. I just got
So
lucky.
you were lucky with what you invested in?
Yeah, AMC.
Oh, he bought the dip.
Well, I bought AMC like in August, September, when I had heard a rumor that Amazon was gonna buy them. Now at
Ooh.
the time it was at like $4.
Mm-hmm.
It dipped down to $2,
Mm-hmm.
so I figured it would go back up to $4. So I double dipped so that when it goes back up to $4, I made money off that money. I had
Okay.
stocks already that's just gonna
Wait,
stay
so
still.
you bought at 4?
No, he
Yeah.
bought at 2.
I bought at 4,
And then
Oh.
bought
and
at
then
two.
when it dropped, I bought
Oh.
more at 2, so I would make my money back. If it
So
went
you
up to-
averaged down, so that way you would make a return. That makes
Exactly.
sense.
You-
Okay.
you know what
then
Warren Buffett
what
said?
happened is that that spark up went up when it jumped up to like $16.
Mhm.
And when it was right around 14, 15, I sold everything.
Yeah.
I just got lucky.
Yeah.
But when I started, I've been just purchasing stocks that I like. So companies that I like, companies that I know a little bit about, and that's how I started, to be honest.
Warren Buffett said, buy when the river is red, even if that's your own blood.
That makes
And
sense.
that's what you did.
That's true, though. That's true. That's exactly what it is.
I eat my own blood.
That's the thing too. Like, you know, it's very extensive when it comes down to learning, like when to buy, when not to buy. Like, you need to learn charts. Like, no matter what, you need to learn the basics. You know, even the most basic chart, the indicators on what shows. Okay, well, this is a good entry point. This is a good exit point. This is the time that I should just be calm and collected, because I've made many mistakes. I've lost tons of money. I made a lot of money, and I've lost tons of money. You know, because I didn't make those educated decisions. You know,
because you didn't do your due diligence.
Yep.
So, how would you say you made your most money?
Right now. So I'm in one specific stock. If I wouldn't have sold half of my profit, I would have been up around, I guess, full disclosure, around close to 15K.
Okay, wow.
And
what
stock? What company was that?
What company did we miss out on?
What stock did we miss out on? For the people to be upset or excited.
Well, this is the thing, right? So, again, why I'm a risky guy. I invest into penny stocks.
Oh, that's scary.
Yes. So I got into this company.
I'm sorry, before you go, what's the difference between a penny stock and a regular stock?
Oh, okay. So a regular stock, the difference between a penny stock and a regular stock is a penny stock is a stock that is anywhere from, you know, obviously pennies to $5.
Okay.
So after it exceeds $5 is no longer a penny stock.
Yep.
Right. So we can say that AMC and GameStop, they were penny stocks, because at the time
they went
when
down.
you got in, they were at $2 or even at $4. So they're still penny stocks, no matter the company. You know, like, for example, this is not the first time that something like this has happened, where a company that's been like so overvalued or have been really low in their stock position has skyrocketed. So, for example, in the summertime, you know, obviously we're like, everyone was looking for the vaccine, right? Like, everyone was fighting for it. The government was like, okay, we're gonna give Kodak, right? So let's put this in perspective. What is Kodak?
The picture?
Correct. Many, many moons ago, they used to make like aspirin, like, you know, like over-the-counter medication. So they decided, like, okay, you know what? We're gonna give you guys a loan for X amount of money, right? Mind you, before this whole, like, this company skyrocketed, they were at $2.
I remember this.
They jumped up to their highest 52-week price of about like $60.
Yep.
Right? Because all of this news got pumped and pumped and pumped and pumped.
There was a lot of hype.
Exactly. And then it dumped. You know what I'm saying? It went
course.
right back to a penny stock. You know?
Okay.
So that's really like
the difference.
Correct. Like where some stocks, so you guys are investors, you're an investor, and you guys want to be the safe ones. You guys are the blue chip stock guys.
Yep.
So you want the Amazons, the Google, the Facebooks, the Starbucks.
Of course.
Stuff that you know
the
is safe.
Apple.
Right?
Right. The company, and I always say this in my presentations, the companies that are going to stay here after you die.
Right, of course.
Exactly.
Right.
You know what
Okay,
I'm saying?
okay, yes.
And those are the differences. Like with penny stocks, there's a lot of volatility, meaning like they're never predictable.
Yep.
You know what I'm saying? Like, one piece of good news can shoot up the stock tremendously, and then one piece of bad news can bring down the stock tremendously. So, for example, I'm in this one called Bionanogenomics.
Say that again.
Bionanogenomics.
Oh yeah, I think I was in that and I jumped out.
Do you know what price you bought it at?
No.
Alright, so I actually bought a really low. I didn't spend that much money. I bought about 1,100 shares at 49 cents.
Oh yeah, that's really early.
Right, and I sold half of my profit, maybe like $6.
Oh wow, that's great.
Now they're
That's a profit.
Yeah, now they're at like $15.
Oh my God,
So-
you're like kicking
You're
yourself.
looking at it like I should have held off.
No.
No, of course.
I'm
A profit is a profit.
Right,
Remember that.
So
That's
you
true.
only win in the stock market if you pull out when you gain money.
Yep.
If you wait till the dip happens again, then you're just losing money at that
Let me
point.
tell y'all right now, don't be a bag holder.
Yeah.
Do not be a bag holder. Take your profits. If you're okay with taking, listen, $1, if you make $1, that's still a gain.
$1 is a
Deal
dollar.
or no deal. That's what
Right.
he's saying.
$1 is $1. That's $1 more than you had
Before.
Yeah,
exactly. Right? So I took a pretty chunk. I took a good pretty chunk, but you know what? I'm okay with that because I'm still up. Like even when I sold, I was still up over 1,000%. And even now, I'm still up over 2,000.
Even more.
Wow.
Yeah.
So
Check it out.
like, so now when I started with Robinhood. The reason why is because it was an easy app for me on my phone to be able to do what I had to do.
And they don't charge you anything.
Yes.
Mhm.
Now, what do you use or what do you recommend using as far as trading?
So I think that Robinhood is a very good beginner's application. Right?
Okay.
It gives you the basics, you know. You get to learn their chart or whatever the indicators that they have. They do have some like education. So like for example, if there's some, you know, whatever stock that you invest in, it'll give you like news or whatnot. Not obviously not all of them, but it'll give you like news about the specific stock or whatever.
Okay.
The only thing that I don't like about trading stocks on Robinhood is that you are very limited to what you can do.
Yep.
Right. So me knowing what I know now, I'm pretty sure many people don't know, but there's 3 times that you can trade throughout the day.
Yep.
So there's the pre-market where there's like really like people who are putting their 100% into this, they start trading at 4 a.m.
Yep.
That's when a lot of the flow happens, right? 9:30 a.m. is when the actual open market begins.
That's
right?
when they ring the bell.
Exactly.
Usually
But
I pull out.
After market, right? So the after hours begin at 4 p.m.
Yep.
when they close the market, right?
Of course.
So with Robinhood, you're not able to do that to its entirety. You're only able to trade from 9 a.m.
Mhm.
to 6 p.m.
Yep.
Oh.
I'm a type of person that, let's say I think that I see a play, right, that
Yep.
I want to jump into. And I'm like, you know what, I need to get into it now rather than waiting. Because a lot of a lot of people from Robinhood miss out on a lot of plays because they're like, damn, I can't get in right now. Where if I could get in at 6 p.m., 7 p.m., you know, I'm going to have the opportunity to make my money.
Of course.
So I switched over to Webull.
Yeah. I've
Webull-
heard about that. It's
Webull is
very popular.
Yeah, it's a very good app. It has indicators. Like, it has more indicators that you can read off of. You know, so it's not just something that, like, Robinhood, that you just see it or whatever, and it's just that one chart. Like,
It's
no.
more educational.
Correct.
Okay.
And there's, like, actually, like, a platform in Webull where you can, you know, discuss the stock with other people and this, that, and the third. But there's other ones, you know, like E-Trade, TD America.
So what's the advantage? What time does it start for Webull and what
4
time
a.m.
does it end?
4 a.m. to 8 p.m.
So you get more.
Now, if I have Robinhood
Mhm.
and I want to switch over to Webull, if I open up in Webull, will my stocks still be the same? Do I still have the same amount of stocks in there? Or do I have to pull out of Robinhood in its entirety, all my stocks, and then reopen?
So you have to.
Account.
So once you close your Robinhood account, you no longer have it. But the good thing about Webull is, so it's $75 to close your account. So to switch over from Robinhood to Webull is $75. The good
Okay.
thing about Webull is they pay for that.
Oh
So
wow.
they pay for that transfer fee, which is really great. But no, you keep that stock at the same price.
Mhm.
It's just gonna look a bit different or whatever when you have it on Webull, because it's just gonna show like the stock price that it's currently at. But
Yeah,
obviously, like,
opposed.
you know,
Without all your
when-
profits,
yeah,
when
because-
Robinhood has your profits right there.
exactly.
Mhm.
But me personally, I love the app. You know, they both have desktop apps, but I personally like Webull more. I'm very
Okay.
biased towards them because I've seen a lot more advantages.
Gosh.
Okay.
There you go, guys. Do your research.
Definitely do your research. I am going to bring it back to a little bit of the basics for those that are looking to get just the very beginners information on how to get started. So let's say I have $1,000 and I want to start investing my first $1,000, what would be your advice for someone who's looking to first invest those first $1,000 that they have?
To be honest, it goes back to the first thing. What do you want?
Long term or short term?
Correct.
And once you decide that, so let's say I have $1,000 and I want to go short term.
Well,
what would your advice be?
What would you recommend a new person to do? I mean, if they don't obviously know much, would you even recommend them to do like some short-term investing, or would you just tell them to do long-term investing just because of the fact that they don't know enough? They're still new to the game.
I think they need to do their research before anything.
Okay.
You need to legit, like, okay, I have $1,000. I want to throw my $1,000 into the market, but I don't know what I want to throw it into.
Okay.
Okay, well now that's when it comes down to look at different sectors, right? So whether it be technology, biotech, energy, XYZ, things like that.
So see where they want to kind of
Yeah,
throw their money into.
Because even if you have $1,000, like let's say this beer and that beer are stocks, right?
Yep.
But they're different sectors. You don't want to throw all your $1,000 on just this one beer. You know what I'm saying? Let's say this is biotech and that's technology. I'm gonna throw some here, some there. You know what I'm saying? That way I can diversify my portfolio and then obviously create more opportunities for me to make money.
So how would you recommend to look at this stock and look at this stock?
So the same thing. So it's the same ways. Look at one, you should definitely learn indicators and charts.
Okay.
That's absolutely.
And what does that even mean?
So I guess like the indicator is like, how the stock is moving.
Yep.
You know what I'm saying?
How it's trending, what was the high, what was the low.
The biggest thing too, before even investing in stock, is learn the terminology.
Okay.
Like what's the exit point, what's the entry point, what's the middle point, what a pump and dump is, which is what a lot happens with, stocks like penny stocks, which is why it's very, very, very unsafe, but I take the risk. It's just honestly just doing your research. Find out why do you want to invest into this one company? Why do you believe in it?
Yeah.
What does the future hold for this company if you're going to invest in it?
Right, like what are their developments? How have they done the last 5 years financially? Like have they grown? Have you seen exponential growth? As well as who are their competitors and how do they, how do they separate themselves from their competitors?
Yep.
Right? Like there's a big reason why Tesla is doing so great.
I was just going to ask you about that.
Right? Like, let me ask you a question. Like, who is Tesla's competition?
I wouldn't be able to tell you.
Isn't it like NIO or a NIO company and then all the other car dealerships?
How many cars have you seen from them?
Not
like
enough.
on the road.
Not enough.
On the road though.
None.
None? There you go.
Okay, got it.
You know why? Because they created, so you know how they say reinvent the wheel?
Yep.
They don't have nothing to reinvent. They invented the wheel.
Yep.
You know what I'm saying?
Got
so it's just like,
They're leading the way with it.
Correct. Like, what is your competitor doing versus versus your competitor?
Yep.
Okay.
Right? Like, let's put it into like Sony and PlayStation. Sony had a really good earnings report because of obviously like their PlayStation 5, like the sales were crazy. You know
Of course.
What I'm saying? So they did an amazing job their last earnings. You know what I'm saying? Like things like that. You need to
start looking into.
Correct. Like read about them and why you believe in them.
Right.
Like I remember the first stock analysis, the first financial analysis that I did just to educate myself more was Ford. The car company. Ford is actually doing pretty well, but it's also because of news like they're having like electronic.
Yeah, of course they're new. But a lot of companies are going like that.
Exactly right. So I did a financial analysis on them, back in the summertime, and I'm like, this is a terrible company. Like they've actually done worse.
Yeah.
Since they brought in new CFOs, like they've gone down. Like they were making billions, like high billions to like very low. You know what I'm saying?
Okay.
So it's like you have to do your research and exactly.
A lot of those American car companies.
So
are doing
anyone,
that.
anyone that's looking into start, right? And correct me if I'm wrong. I just want to make sure I'm taking my notes correctly. I want to make sure you guys get your notes correctly. But first thing first is I would need to go learn terminology.
Correct.
And then you would suggest I'm going to go learn graphs, Like how to
Yes.
read
So
graphs.
charts, indicators, stuff like
And then
that.
you do your research on whatever it is that you want to invest in, and then you decide whether you want to be a long-term or a short-term person.
Correct.
And then that's how you decide how you invest.
Mhm.
Now, to be a little bit more clear on the $1,000, you wouldn't suggest for one person to invest all their thousands in one. If you're
Correct.
just starting,
Correct.
you divide up and see how that goes.
Right.
You give
Alright.
me
I did that.
about 500, Payoneer about 250, and Chulo
Funny,
about 100.
funny thing
Why do I
is-
get 250 and you get 5?
'Cause I deserve it.
Why
do
you get-
too!
why do you get five- wait, wait, wait.
What?
Why do you get 500?
The
My
other,
portfolio has
the
made
other
more money.
150, you could just give it back to me.
For the
again.
record, I needed more. I get the 5. You get the 250.
I'll make you more money.
Hold
My
on.
portfolio is way better.
Wait.
So, funny thing is, I actually started my portfolio with $1,400, and I put it all into Apple.
Very nice.
All
Okay.
into Apple.
What was the buying price?
I don't remember.
Are you?
Oh, that
But it
Am I
definitely
Am I
went up.
Oh yeah, I'm up.
Okay.
Yeah.
Oh
Well,
yeah, he's
so,
up. Not just yeah.
When
he's
I
up.
bought was when they did the split.
Oh, the 4 to
Very
1
smart.
split.
Very
Yes,
smart.
that's when I bought. And then that's when I started. So I just bought Apple because I always believed in Apple
But
products.
Tesla also did the split.
Yeah, but I didn't.
We should have done Tesla.
Yeah, I had 1,400. It is what it is. I didn't know anything, but
No.
I believed in Apple. I liked Apple, so that's why I bought into Apple.
Mm.
Okay.
Now, once I started looking at charts and doing, my research, minor, that's when I started putting more money into my account. I put another 400, and now I've been playing around.
Okay.
AMC.
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 And
Now-
NIO is another one.
Mhm.
And yeah, NIO.
There's many of them, man. There's
Like
a lot of the
playing
plays.
around.
Sorry, a lot of the plays that I've actually profited off of in the summer, that I sold, have gone up immensely. Like I'm smacking myself right now in the head.
I wouldn't even look at those. I wouldn't
Yeah,
even
no,
look at those.
yeah.
Don't waste your time.
Once,
Yeah,
once,
I
once I
leave-
sell, I just
Yeah, that's exactly
On
what
to
I
the
do.
You don't
next.
look back.
yeah,
Nope.
it's like
Yeah.
an X.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You don't look back. Now, let's say someone is trying to really get into investing and is trying to do it, I guess frequently.
Mm-hmm.
For someone who's working a 9 to 5 and gets paid every 2 weeks, let's say, how much of your check is there like a math to it on how much of your check would be a safe percentage to invest?
I would say. Well, that honestly all comes down because like everyone makes everyone
Different amounts.
It's different,
Is there
right.
like a
Correct.
percentage or anything?
I would say maybe like
Like if we're just talking like a general safe percentage, what would you say that would be?
I mean, to be safe, like for someone who may not necessarily make enough money, maybe like anywhere from like 5 to 10%.
Okay.
Yep.
Yeah, that's what I.
If you're feeling a little risky, then yeah, go 25%.
Right.
Yeah,
right,
no,
right.
that's
You
a
know,
lot.
If you feel a little
Yeah.
froggy, you know
Exactly.
what I'm saying?
You know what I'm saying?
You want to
Yeah.
hop.
So it all
No,
depends.
no
It
froggy, no
honestly, it all
froggy,
depends.
man.
Like if you're a person who's making minimum wage, maybe even 2% makes sense. Like
Right.
yeah,
Right.
like even if you just want to like put in $10 and you're like, all right, I believe in this one company that's a penny stock or whatever, and even if it's like, all right, I'm put $5 into this one stock and it's $5 and it goes up to $6, you made $1.
Yeah.
Yep.
Right. Okay. Okay.
Yeah, you.
Now, for someone who's trying to make money, right? So we were actually just talking about this a little bit earlier, and we all know that COVID hit, and a lot of people were put under a financial struggle, and that's where a lot of these hobbies and new businesses came up because everybody was trying to find a second or third income.
Of
These
course.
times were hard, and we all know that that's the reality of America nowadays. So in terms of being smart with your money and always, of course, trying to find different incomes of money, what would you suggest, saving or investing? And
That's
this
a
might
good
be,
question,
and this might be a
right?
little biased
Hey.
because you are an investor, but
So I think that you should do both.
Okay.
And I think that you need to make the right choices as to where you're putting your money into when you're saving. And the reason why I say that is, right? So, yeah, anyone can have a checkings and a savings account.
yes,
However, there's different accounts for your savings that, you make money off of. You want to make sure that you're looking for, savings, the companies, right, that have percentages, that you gain interest from.
Of
Even if it's
course.
like 10 cents, because that's 10 cents more that you had.
Yep.
And obviously, investing isn't always guaranteed.
of course,
Yep.
right,
Like all the money that I have in now into my account, I can lose that today.
right,
Yep.
right, yeah,
And then I'm SOL.
yeah,
You know what I'm saying? So I think that there is benefits to both.
okay.
For those people that don't know what SOL means.
Shit out of luck.
Yeah.
I didn't know about
Just
the
in case if you thought it was if you thought it was shock, you know.
No, I always but I always thought like your savings should be what your expenses are for the next 6 months.
Mhm.
So cash that you kind of would need immediately, and things that you invest would kind of be like extra money beyond that. Because based on like the inflation rate of the dollar or of cash, the savings account, that interest rate isn't enough to cover it. You're actually losing money by saving it. So the stock market actually exceeds that, and it's actually better, or I've heard it's better to invest it than actually just put it into a savings account.
Yeah, I mean, go ahead.
I mean, I have a savings account, but it's not your typical bank savings account. I use a Roth IRA.
Okay.
Whereas it's still
It's
still
invested
saving,
money, though.
but it's investing money.
Exactly.
Yeah,
It's
that's just investing though.
Exactly.
I mean, if you want to necessarily, so like, okay, so if you don't want to open up a savings account, then that's when you would that's when you would invest into index funds.
Yep.
You know what
What's
I'm
an
saying?
index
Like
fund?
an S&P 500.
Yeah. So
and
basically, what index funds are, they're kind of like a savings account, if you
Okay.
will, where you're gonna like, let's say if you put $10,000 in your savings account, right, and you're only getting like a little bit of interest.
Mhm.
You're only gonna get like what, 10,000,
1% or
right,
something,
very
yeah.
small. But
Yeah.
index funds, they move like the stock market. So when the index funds increase, right, like the price of index stock goes up, then obviously your money is gonna move like like the stock would.
Got it. Okay.
And that's going to be a higher percentage than savings.
Right. So like the ideal age that we all want to retire, well, the
Ideal age.
bullshit.
65.
Excuse me. The ideal age that we want to retire is today, but
Yeah.
like to American standards, it's 65,
Yeah,
right?
of
Let's
course.
say you were to put $250. Okay, let's say $500 a month into your index funds, and you don't touch it for like 40 years, like you can have close to $1 million, if not over $1 million.
Depending
come
when you
your
start.
time. Right. Depending on when you
Correct.
start and come your time for retirement.
Exactly.
Got it. Okay.
You know what I'm saying? So there are advantages. So I mean, I guess if you want to save, but in terms of like investing at the same time, then I would definitely look into small, medium, and index funds.
Yep.
Okay.
Mm-hmm.
I'm telling you, there's different tricks. There's different ways to do all this.
Trade.
I mean, and a lot of times, even your company, whoever they do your retirement fund, your 401k, they have advisors that are willing to help you and talk to you
Yeah.
when it comes to putting that 401k to actually work.
Mm-hmm.
They kind of guide you on what your plan is, where you're trying to be, and when you're trying to retire.
Yeah.
So, I mean, if you want information on that, just reach out to them and whoever it might be, because some of them are TD Ameritrade, Fidelity, exactly.
AXA.
Vanguard,
Whatever they
The
are,
other company
you
that
can
Zach
reach out
works
to
for.
them.
Schwab.
No, I forgot what it was. AXA.
No, they changed their name, but it's alright. He's irrelevant anyway.
So those companies, they'll talk to you. They have financial advisors that are willing to help you and
For free.
let you know where your money should actually go. I mean, it's not really free. You're giving them money every time you get
Right.
paid.
Yeah, I mean, if you're giving them money, might as well use the resources.
Just remember
Information.
this: every time you give $1 to a bank, they're allowed to loan out $6.
Mm.
So when you give them money, they're actually using your money to make more money for themselves.
Of course.
Correct. Yep.
Motherfuckers, yo.
That's just
Yeah.
how the
They
how
got
the
all
banks
my
work.
money right now.
Yeah,
too.
exactly.
That is true.
Well, not all my monies.
Well, thank you for all the information. And I'm pretty sure because we're talking about stocks, people are going to be very curious to know. Could you in some way dumb down what happened with GameStop?
Okay.
Well,
man.
what happened with that whole crash or
Oh,
whatever
man.
it is that you call it? And I really
this
do.
happened, then this happened.
Yeah.
Yeah,
And
but
by
you-
all means, I'll stop you and ask a question because I am literally, this is
Oh,
literally
Bail's calling
like
time out.
stocks for dummies in terms
Time
of
out.
money.
But can't you make money if it's going up, and can't you make money if it's going down?
Yeah, but we'll get into that.
Okay, go.
GameStop.
Okay, so GameStop, right? So it's a
You gotta shorten this up because we're running out of time here too.
I bet GameStop. So basically, there are people who bet on stocks going down. Those are called shorts, right?
Yep.
So think about it like this: you are an apple seller. I want an apple, right? But you're lending me the apple, right?
Yep.
The apple is valued at $1, so I borrow the dollar and you give me the apple.
Yep.
Right. I then wait before I give you back your apple, for the dollar, I wait for the value of the apple to drop.
Yep.
So now, not only do I buy that apple at 50 cents, right? I give you your apple, but I make my profit. Does it make sense? No? Yes, no?
Yeah, because now you got it for 50 cents opposed to it costing $1.
Yup, and now you still get your apple.
Yep.
And I have mine and 50 cents.
Yep.
So basically what happened is, right? So GameStop if we're gonna put it in a way that we all know, like GameStop is Blockbuster but for video games.
Yep.
Right? Retail stores are becoming obsolete for things like this, just like
Yep.
CDs.
Everybody shops online.
Exactly.
Amazon.
Right? So these companies are like, I bet. You know what we're gonna do? We're gonna put money that way that we're gonna buy the stock and then sell it, so that way when the stock goes down and we'll buy it again. But there's interest involved, right? So people were shorting AMC, people were shorting GameStop, and then what happened was this subreddit called Wall Street Bets was like, they're basically like do research on stocks or whatever, and they're like, okay, hold up. Now here's an opportunity, right? Now when shorts get squeezed, basically when the stock goes up, their interest increases. So now they're losing money.
Yep. So that $1 now ends up costing you $2, and you got to pay it back that extra dollar.
Exactly. So now you're supposed to be making money off that short-term squeeze. That short, right? Now you're losing it because now I'm like, you know what? Fuck that. You bought it at $4. I'm gonna buy it now, and now it's gonna go up to $10. You know what I'm saying? And that's what happened to GameStop, right? So basically, Wall Street Bets was like, yo, we're gonna rally, we're gonna buy the fuck out of this stock, we're gonna go ham, so that way all of these hedge funds are gonna lose all of their goddamn money. It got so bad, the stock pumped up so bad to the point that certain investors and certain hedge funds had to get bailed out because all the money that they lost. They like a lot of hedge funds lost billions and billions of dollars, right?
But they also continued to try to short the stock, assuming it would go down and start making profits.
And they kept going up.
Yeah.
So then, right? So this was
Idiots.
So volatility like this, it barely happened, right? I don't think we've ever seen it happen.
Because regular people can't invest like that.
Exactly.
Used to
Right?
not being able.
Right. So the thing was, like, these hedge funds always manipulate stocks. Now the roles have reversed. This is not illegal, by the way, unless you.
That's one thing that I did, because I read an article on the basics. I tried to understand, but one thing I did get out of it is this is very legal.
It's very legal. Yeah. It's unless you're inside trading, it's legal. You can't. They didn't do anything wrong. All they did was, all right, bet, cool. We're gonna rally against.
And we're gonna buy the stock.
Exactly. So
everybody
who shorted, expecting for the stock to go down, got asked out because now we all came together and you're like, you know what? Fuck it. I'm going to buy like 10 apples at 50 cents. And now that value is going to go up and you're fucked.
Because you have to be able to buy and pay back.
Correct.
Yes.
Okay. With shorting, you're borrowing from your broker.
Mm-hmm.
And you have to pay back your broker.
Right.
But how could something be so expensive that it could drive $1 billion hedge fund into being bailed out?
What do you mean?
So like it was a $2 billion like bailout they were asking for, and like what would cause it? Like how invested into the market are you, or what are you doing in the market that it can cost you $2 billion?
Well, there was about $40-something million in shorting.
Oh.
Oof.
Right. You know.
Wow.
So it's like, okay, think about all of those people who shorted or that much volume in shorting.
Yep.
Like, oh, word? I bet.
Right.
We're gonna fuck you guys over because not only are you gonna make sure that, like, because they thought that GameStop was too overvalued.
Of course.
So they wanted to run it down just like Blockbuster.
Yeah, they were trying to drive it to the ground.
And they are very overvalued. I think that $4 was the correct price. You know what I'm saying? They've been closing, like, this company is bankrupt. You know, they've been closing a lot of brick and mortar stores down. They're obsolete, right? Like, you can go, if whatever console you have, PlayStation, Xbox, Nintendo Switch, right now you can go and buy it yourself.
Yep.
Like, literally go to the bathroom, take a shower, and then maybe within the hour you have your video game ready.
Mm-hmm.
As opposed to actually getting out, driving, and
going.
Yeah,
Of course.
So, yeah, that's pretty much what happened. In short, you know, basically they got fucked over. So that happened, right? And then everybody who collected their profits got him, and then that happened. So this is a pump
And then it went down.
This is a pump and dump, basically.
Okay.
When everybody's pumping the shit out of stock,
Yeah.
they take all their profits, and then they dumped it. And now, people who held the bag saying, "Oh no, it's gonna go to $1,000." Now they're holding it. It's like what, $50 right now.
Yeah, it's going down, and it's gonna keep going down.
Yeah, it's
I'm not
it's
surprised.
very overvalued.
For anyone that's watching this, I hope you didn't invest, and if you did, the best of luck to you.
Yeah,
It's
set stop losses.
That's
Because
why
I
You're
am.
so
You're losing
sad.
money. I'm so
Set-
very
set-
sorry.
I
No,
know.
but that's the
I'm
risk
all
you
about
take.
No, I know. Granted, I
All
know
I
that
know-
that's a risk.
I don't
I'm
want to. I
all
don't want to
about
take
the
too
pump
much.
and dump.
Right. I don't want to take too much time on this, but setting stop losses is very important. Right.
Yep.
So basically, setting that stop loss is saying, okay, well, you just in case. So let's say you got in at whatever price you got in, and it goes up to 500, right?
Okay.
God forbid, that shit starts to drop. But you set your stop loss for, maybe not like a crazy amount. Like, okay, let's say it's 500. You
Yep.
set your stop loss for 499.
Okay.
You're
Yep.
still making your profit. Like,
Right.
you're gonna pull out all of your shares, but you're still making your profit. That way, if it goes down to the shit, you're
You
not
still
like,
made your
"Oh
money
my
and you're
God,"
safe.
Yep.
Got it.
And yeah,
That's pretty much what I do at AMC. I was like, I'm at $4. It was shot up to 16. I was like, if it drops under 13, it's selling.
bang.
That's what I did.
Yep.
And it dropped below 13, and
Mm-hmm.
I made it.
Genius.
Okay.
Steph
I
Curry
do
with the shot,
have
boy.
one more question, and that would be, what is option trading?
Okay, so options trading is basically predicting. I wouldn't say it's like shorting because it's not, but it's basically predicting the whether the stock is gonna go up or down. So
Mhm.
whether you believe the stock is gonna go up, you make a call. If you believe that the stock is gonna go down, you make a put.
Yep.
So basically what happens is you buy it at a strike price, right? So like let's say, the strike price is whatever it is, you buy 100 shares of that. So 100 shares times the strike price, then that's how much you're paying
Right.
for the stock.
So you would have to cover 100 shares. So if it's $5, $500 would have to be in
Correct.
it.
Exactly.
Okay.
And then from there, you have an expiration date. So you buy. So these are contracts.
Yep.
So they all end. It's not like you're buying a share and it's like, oh, I'm keeping it there for whatever the hell happens,
Okay.
right?
Yep.
You're buying a contract. So like, let's say, basically like this, right? So like beer has an expiration date, right?
Yes.
It's-
You buy it, you have to drink it by a certain date.
Correct, right? You use it. If you don't use it, you lose it, right?
Got it. Okay.
So but obviously you have to see the trend of that specific stock. Like for example, I'll tell you, I just made $1,700 last week on a company called their ticker symbol is CCIV. They're a electronic vehicle company.
Okay.
Right? There's been rumors and rumblings about a merger happening, and at the time, like. Right now, they're really high, and my expiration date was Friday. I was smacking myself on the head yesterday because they hit like $40, $50, I believe, and I sold it around like 33 maybe.
So you broke the contract.
Yeah, I sold my contract, but you know what? I'm okay with that
Yep.
because again,
Green.
profit is profit.
Green.
Right.
So options. Let me tell you right now, if you are beginning, I beg you, and I don't know like how much y'all
Yeah.
are really into it.
Or anybody else out
I
there?
beg
Yeah.
y'all, please do not buy options yet.
Okay.
Yep.
The stock market is a very toxic relationship. We all had one of those.
We sure have.
You fuck up, you always come back. But
Sometimes we like toxic people.
Yeah, right? But remember what I said in the beginning? The stock market has no heart. They don't know who you are. If that's your last $1,000, my fault. If that's your last $1,000 that you have to yourself, that your mom told you, do not waste this $1,000. Do not lose it.
Not the rent money.
Exactly. And you lose that $1,000, you can't call your broker and be like, please, I just lost the $1,000 that I had to use to pay rent. Come on,
Right.
please, give me. No. They're like, that's your fault.
Right.
So please learn, again, do your research. That's why doing your research is very important, right? A few months ago, Peloton, right? Peloton doing extremely well, right? Because of COVID. I made a lot of money with Peloton. I also made a lot of money with Walmart. But then I lost a lot of fucking money with Chewy.
Yeah.
And they had really good earnings report. Why did that happen? I have absolutely no idea. Because I did my due diligence for a whole 2 weeks.
It could have been that they had more debt.
Okay.
Or
No.
Cash
They
flow,
had money,
nothing?
bro.
Oh,
They
then I
were
don't know.
doing really well. Like, better than they have before.
people were probably just trying to take their profits because they figured more people would buy.
So will you ever find out what happened?
Honestly,
Or, I mean, not that you would care.
There's
I'm not
never
saying that
a
I
real
would care.
reason sometimes.
yeah, sometimes it's not. Like
It could be because it's snowing.
It's like
and
an
nobody's
ugly girl
shopping.
I don't want to go back to. That's it. It happened.
Got it.
It happened. I don't want to think about it.
It's
The
done and over with.
Yeah.
the guy that created Chewy invested into GameStop, and he became.
He's on the board.
Yeah, he is. That's why they were pumping money into it too, because they thought it's gonna be
leave
something.
you guys with this. Scared money don't make no money.
Yeah, but be smart with your money. And before we leave, I'm gonna tell you something right now, y'all. The best trade y'all can ever make in your life
is in yourself. Oh wait, no,
No, wait.
is no trade.
it's no trade.
No trade.
So don't invest.
If you don't feel good about something,
Don't do
you
it.
don't do it.
Okay.
So, like me, hold off, because I am still very much learning. I have a long ways
Bro,
to
just
go.
take $1,000, put in an apple.
I will say this.
Don't do that.
Yeah, there you go.
Do it in Kia.
I already did it. I did it.
He did it. The
I did
end.
My portfolio is
chulo.
over 1,000.
Just tell him your
Over-
portfolio is
Over
chulo.
100%.
I'm literally like, honestly, I'm not that far away from my financial goal for the stock market.
Nice.
Yo, follow the
Good for
chulo
you.
index.
Don't follow my index.
Follow the
Nah.
chulo
I
index.
follow his
Do
index.
not. Do not do that. If there's anything that I've learned from this conversation, and if there's anything that I think we can fully wrap up on, will be that last lesson, and apply this to everything in your life. If you don't feel good about it, if you feel like you're not educated enough, if you're not going into something with confidence, don't do it. And I say that on this episode with stocks because everybody is getting into stocks, and I feel like everybody's antsy to start making money because they see other people make money.
That get rich quick scheme.
And
You're
by all means, we're all about it, right? Who doesn't want to make money
Overnight.
But I hope that from everything that you guys have learned today, you have gotten the idea of doing your due diligence, do your research, terminology,
Facts.
graphs,
Facts.
research,
Yep.
long, short. Make sure you're good enough. You're good to lose the money that you're investing, because that can very much happen.
And don't emotionally invest.
And don't emotionally invest.
That's what I do.
I think I learned a lot. Thank you so much.
Of course.
I hope you guys learned a lot. Do you guys have anything else?
No, I already gave him. Don't scare money, don't make no money.
The spiel,
That's
Bail?
it. That's all you need to know. Your money don't make money.
Make sure you guys always like, follow, subscribe, comment. Let us know what you guys want to hear, because we're here to give it to you. We hope that this was very informative for everybody. We will tag our guest, so you guys can follow him. Do you teach this stuff on your social media?
I usually do presentations.
Okay.
So I usually have maybe monthly or bi-monthly, like every other month.
Okay.
And where
you
can they
promote,
find
but you promote
that?
them through your Insta?
So you can find me on Instagram, Rome Renaissance. I'll have, you guys will spell it
I'll
out.
post it. Yep.
But yeah, I usually have them. They're very basic, very informational, but legit to the T. Very basic. Like, I'm gonna teach you what words to learn. What are the differences between investing and trading. What books to read. All of that jazz.
Awesome.
So
Yeah,
make sure
perfect.
you guys are checking out on our Instagram. If you're watching this on our YouTube channel, make sure you go over to our Instagram so you guys can get the @ so you guys can follow, you guys can be informed and educate yourself a little bit more. I think we're all done. Thank you so much for joining us and educating us today.
Thank you for having
And
me.
as always,
Hate it.